that I'm here. I am so happy and grateful that I'm here talking with you guys, educating you guys on what's happening in the crypto market. Let's get started. All right, so we got Bitcoin. So big picture, some of you guys should know what this is. I'm gonna point it out to you. Plan B, stock to flow. And if you guys don't know what it is, it's kind of like what a lot of traders have been seeing. Have been seeing as the, I guess as the, I want to say as like the blueprint of what's going on. I want, let's use the image. So pretty much what he's been able to do is he, in 2000, like I want to say 2012, he made a stock to flow chart of Bitcoin. Plan B, oh man, stock to flow. There you go. And what the stock to flow chart really is just the way Bitcoin's been moving. So here's a good one. So can I zoom in? Open. Let's go save images. Save. And then open. All right. Where'd it go? All right. So all that's pretty much happened with the stock to flow chart is that Bitcoin's been moving in this place via the stock to flow chart. There it is. Boom. Okay. So you can see that we have kind of like a heat map or heat signatures. So you can see he's been incredibly right for the last little bit. So we have, here's price actuals momentum in terms of how it moves. And it just kind of moves up. So in 2011, here's, it kind of was supposed to go up to $9, went up to $11, came back down, kind of stayed above that. In 2013, by the end of 2013, going in 2014, he had it going up to about over $1,000 for $500. It got up to $1,100. This one was just at 9,000. We hit 19,000, and this one is over 100,000, going into like roughly about around now time. So you can see that it kind of really falls through what's really happening. So roughly about 2021, he has us going up to here, around here. We're right now in 2021. So like you can see what kind of happens that we just get over. And like this is normally the last 2 months. You can see like the last couple of months of it, 2018. So by 2022, which is right here, we should be getting closer to over this $100,000 by gearing the end of this. So that being said, since it's been right, pretty much this entire chart has been right. Okay. So now the real thing is that we understand this is it's been right. Why would it be wrong now? My entire preface, my entire point of how I trade cryptocurrency, how I trade Bitcoin has literally been this one thing. Why would we be wrong now? Why would we be diverting now? Right? It's been right this entire move. So I'm letting the market prove me wrong or prove itself wrong. And I'm just going to be like have this certain bias because there's no point in me trying to reinvent the wheel when the wheel's already here for me and it's telling me what to do, right? Just run the play. The play says we're going up. Why fight against it? Make money, right? So that's why you don't want to be arguing against, like, you can look into it and kind of figure it out for yourself and trying to understand it more for yourself and dive deeper into it. But there are other charts and other things that also kind of give confluence to that, right? So let's go into the 2 week. So now that we just entered the new 2 week candle, we are in the current zone where we should be making our way up, right? Like there's this 2 week candle is starting as a wick. Like, well, this is going to be a wick, right? At the end of the day, this should be a wick. If you look at it like this, right? So here's another thing from a high time frame. All this is a 382 retracement. I'll show you from the last point of impulse to the highest point of this candle, 382. So a high retracement. And that's kind of what's been happening. And then I remember saying that last week is that if it goes down, here's your 50%. And is there a possibility for this still? Of course. Am I still looking for it? Maybe. I mean, if it wakes me out and comes down here and I wake up in the morning and we're down here, I'm taking this trade. If we come down here, I'm still taking this trade. No matter what, this thing's not leaving without me. That's all I have to say. You do not want this thing to leave without you, because the next thing that comes after this should be this. So let me go to November of 2017. Like, what should come after is like straight up, like, so even if we're playing into like this roll of 2017, this is what should be coming in next. If we are looking at 2013, all right, what should come next in the 2-week candle after we've dipped, right? After we have some sort of dip, it's just like straight up impulse. So right now, this should just be impulsive. That's what we should be getting into, going into tomorrow during an evening time. But you do not want this to leave without you, because there's a good chance that we might not revisit these prices. Okay. Once we clear out whatever price that we're going to clear out to, once it starts going upward momentum, you want to be on that plane, right? And like I said, is it possible we can still make it down here? Anything is possible, because until it moves up, it can come all the way down here. And this looks like a great area. So does this, right? Gaps and all these different things where we know where there's entries, but these are like large time frames. Go down, drop it down to the weekly, and we can see the same thing. Gap in the market, impulse. Generally speaking, the market would love to come down, and what you would want to see. So what so is the thing of what you want to see versus what could happen, right? So what we want to see is we would like to see it drop all the way down into here. This is kind of like the best area, right in the 618 pocket. I mean, that's the best area for you to get to catch Bitcoin, because this makes sense, right? But it's not always what makes sense is what you're going to get. So there is a good chance that we do clear this, and there's a good chance that we don't. So that's on a weekly. On a daily, so keep dropping down. So what do we got? On a daily, we can kind of see this happen like this, right? If what we want to see happen is that this is a higher low, right? You want to see this as a higher low. So at this point right here, you kind of want this to hold this position where it's at right now, utilizing fib. Boom, boom, boom. So this is now 50% 618 golden ratio, golden pocket. We're right in the middle of it, right? If I go down to the 786, you kind of want to be held within this box, within this ratio, right? You want to really hold into that. Keep on dropping down in time frame, go down to the 4-hour, and now we're going to look into the EMAs. So now if we're looking at this and it's going to make its way back up, it really needs to capture back this EMA, this 50 EMA. So everything needs to pivot upwards. If everything starts pivoting upwards, sayonara, this thing is running, right? Like once this thing starts pivoting upwards, it will start running. So what about this corrective wave? Well, see, the corrective wave it's never done until we make a higher low. Once we make a higher low, that's now telling you that this corrective wave is now done. So this should be the ending of it, but it could just straight come down a bit more. And at that point, that was just an extension of this corrective wave. So let's take a look at it in terms of fib points. If we utilize fib points from this first impulse up here down to this down here, it's a very shallow retracement, right? 382. So no wonder we stopped there. Now, the real question is this. Do we turn around from here to really now make our way up this? So the further we get up this, the less this will come back down. So the further that we push up here, the less this is going to be coming down, obviously, right? So what you're looking for eventually is you really do want it to start making its way up, right? Because at some point, we need to clear all of this. And so you can see why I said you don't want this to leave without you. Just clearing to the all-time high from where we're at right now is a 13,000 pip move on trading, right? That is a 30 to 1 with 1% of your account. 2% of your account, that's 60% of your account. 3% of your account, that is 3, 6, 90% of your account just off this one trade. Now, what I'm talking about that it could get up to, what we should be seeing is something like this, which is close to like 100 to 1. And I know this sounds like really ridiculous at this point in terms of like the type of trade that you're talking about, but this is what you're looking for. And essentially what you'd be looking for is you look for it to come up to an impulse and then continue, then make its way down and kind of make a higher low here and then last impulse up. So like, because it shouldn't be just straight up to, like, my expectations is 300. I haven't changed my expectations. It's been the same for the last year, and I don't plan on changing it at all. Like I said from the beginning, I'll let the market prove me wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I care, but I don't really care to the point where I'm like, I got to be right, because part of trading is admitting and being okay with being wrong. And part of it is also making guesses and educated guesses and also taking profit. And these are all things that we're learning, that we're going through, right? So at the end of the day, when we're looking at trading, when we're looking at getting into these things, what we want to make sure is this right here. Like I said, costless trade, still good, right? Like, damn well close. This is pretty much the stop loss. So now going down to the hour. So what you're looking for at this point is, so you wanted, so, okay. Let me get rid of, I just want that. Okay. So in terms of point of control, what we want to do is we want to cross this red line here. That's where point of control is. If it stays under the red line, then we are bearish. If we close above the red line on the hour, then we are bullish. It's really straightforward on this point of control, right? So we do want to start making our way up. In terms of a Fibonacci point, like I said, this is a 50%. So from here to here, this is a 61.8 retracement. It's perfect. At this point, this is perfect. So now, last thing that you're looking for, you go down to a lower time frame. And I've always said what I'm always looking for on lower time frames is I'm looking for some sort of pattern. So what I'd like to see out of this form, inverse head and shoulders. So like that. Off point of control, come back down to here, 618, come back to point of control, make like a higher low, kind of sweep that, come back down, hold the 50%, and then start running. All right, so you want to see something like that. So you want to see this, so see how like the EMAs are starting to change? You want to see it start changing. Stochastic, see how now the stochastic's on a high, but it doesn't really, when we get to the point where we're going to, you can't use the stochastic as an indicator, because the stochastic as an indicator is a late indicator. So like we can have a bearish move that can only take us to, like, let's say for instance, a couple pips, but it can bring us right down to the bottom of stochastic. So that's called bearish divergence. Like there'll be just a bunch of divergences on the stochastics. So like there's no point of utilizing it as a real good indicator anymore. Like you can use it on low time frames, But even then, like, it's kind of just pointless. Okay. So that's kind of what we're looking for BTC. That's kind of what we're looking for BTC. We really want to make sure, like, I don't know how I can stress it even more. Do not let this train leave without you. This will be a life-changing type of thing. Okay. And I say it like that because, and just in terms of margin trading is one of the fastest ways for you to actually gain money. Like, let's say money, but gain more profit, right? Through margin. So margin is like, no caps, probably the best thing you can do when you're trading BTC is trading out a margin or a leverage. That way you can get the most out of these price movements. So spot is great, but spot, I had a conversation with someone and they were talking about selling their Bitcoin down here because I said it was going to come down here. And they're like, well, should I sell it here to buy more here? And I'm like, well, here's the issue. You're talking about spot. And on spot, this is no longer what you're looking for. This whole zone is a good trade on a good whole buy zone on spot. And what did I do this weekend? I bought Bitcoin. Why not? Right? Because this whole zone was a good buy area. And then you know what else is a good buy area? This is a good buy area. You know what else is a good buy area? This is a good buy area. But on margin and for swinging, there are only, like, realistically, only one of these will be a good buy area. And it's whichever one that reacts. Like, there's no bias towards this. I got I'm notorious for catching bottoms, but I caught this trade over here. I got up to here and then I closed out for the weekend. I'm like, what are the chances it's going to wipe me out? I'll just take my profits and run. That's all I did. And it didn't really do anything on the weekend. I mean, we ended up here, but we're really right back where I took profit. So it's literally just a continuation of what I left on the weekend, except I got to sleep. And so there's a lot of times where we might be stressed about trading. Don't be stressed. Like, it's okay. You'll catch another entry. There's always going to be another entry on different time frames. And if anything, we have like the scalper. Like, realistically, on the 15-minute, like, if this ends up, let's say for instance, this ends up clapping us all out, it ends up hitting stop loss, who cares? Once, like, just wait for that 50 EMA to continue going down. Once the 50 EMA goes down and this closes above the 50 EMA, at that point, it'll probably be right where the point of control is, like where this will continue consolidating like this. The 50 EMA will probably make its way down. It'll probably do one move, come above, close above the 50 EMA, then close above the point of control, and then it's gone. So no matter what, it's going to take off. But it's a matter of time. So right now we are in the right time. In terms of 2-week time frame, we're in the right time. In terms of 1-week time frame, we're in the right time. In terms of monthly, we're in the right time. There's only, I think it's the last week of the month. I'm pretty sure it's the last week of the month. Let me just check. All right, yeah. So there's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days left in the month. 9 days left in the month. There isn't a lot of time left in this month. So look at it from this point of view. Okay. This whole thing should end up being a wick by the end of the month to the bottom. And we should be, on my candles, it's blue. It might be green for you. We should be making our way up by the end. Okay. That's what should be happening. If it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. But that's kind of like, it has to happen. All right. So moving on. All right. So 2 coins that I really, really need everyone to be paying attention to. Centrifuge. And I talked about this a couple months, weeks ago. It's 43% down from all-time high. And it might sound like, oh, wow, it's 43% down from all-time high. So that's really good because already it's one double is 100%, right? So I need you guys to think about this, okay? While creating wealth, one of the things that you're really trying to do is having money is like it's in a game. What you're looking for is things to double your money, right? And I'm going to talk to you guys completely different in terms of from crypto, because a lot of people who are in crypto, and there's a lot of memes and a lot of things going around, like we don't talk about percentages and we talk about X's and all this stuff. And realistically, that's just a load of garbage. And here's the reason why. When you're an investor, your number one goal is to double your income, double your money, right? That's the game, right? In the game, if you have $100, if you can double it to 200, you just learned how to multiply, right? If you can take $1 million and double it to 2 million, you just made a new million, right? The same principle that you're going to use to take 1 million to turn to 2, the same principle that you're going to take 100 to turn to 200. The only issue is that you're using $100 and you turn to 200. You're like, that's not enough money. It's not about the money. It's about the principle. Once you understand how to multiply your money, it's a wrap. Understand you are now on the timeline of being rich and wealthy, right? But now it comes down to, do you have enough patience? Do you have enough discipline to actually stay in the game, right? Because it's not going to come to the weak and weary. It's going to come to people who are grinders and willing to actually put in the work, right? So now when you're looking at these things, I'm giving you the game plan when it comes down to these things that are going to double. The question is, are you taking profit, right? Okay. Centrifuge, real world DeFi. What they're doing is they're unlocking liquidity for real world assets. So all they're doing is, for everyone that likes NFTs, what they're doing is they're creating NFTs off of everything. Picture anything that's real world, they're making it into NFT. Okay. So what they're going to do, and what does that do? Well, it means that everything can be something that can be purchased on DeFi and put on the blockchain, right? So everything can be liquid, everything have liquidity. A house can be an NFT, right? Because all NFT is, now when you think of NFT, a lot of people think of paintings and drawings and art, but NFT is just a non-fungible token. It could be a contract, right? So in terms of non-fungible means that it cannot be duplicated, right? So anything that's original can be put into NFT. From that point, right, Centrifuge bridges assets and invoices real estate and royalties to DeFi. That means anything can be on NFT. Borrowers can finance their real world assets without banks and intermediaries. That means you can now be liquidity. So you're, as a borrower, without having a bank, what you can do is that anything can be an asset or collateral. Your car, your iPod, your iPhone, your house, whatever it is, can be utilized as an asset, right? And then from there, you can borrow from that asset. Providing liquidity is open to everyone. Investors will receive return plus CFG rewards. So in terms of big picture, this is going to be huge, big picture. But I'm not even talking about big picture here, okay? I want you to understand the big picture, but don't look at the big picture when you're trying to buy these types of things, because the big picture is, you're writing this down, and what you should be doing is that when we're in a bear market, you should go back to this and be looking at this and seeing the low is 60 cents. Let's see if I can get it around 60 cents again and just scoop all of this. Are you understanding me here? The game is not just about, oh, the next week's going to be a bull market and everything's going to boom and boom. No, what's about is now, how the heck are you going to now make money in the next 4 to 5 years and really set up your portfolio to a point where you are laughing. And when I like laughing straight to the bank, laughing, right? Because you want to be there. So you want to have yourself in good projects. This is one of those good projects. So CFG, I recently just bought more myself because it was at a great price. I saw it. I'm like, this is really good. And then shout out to everyone that got Crow on Thursday. We caught that at 50 cents. It's now sitting at 71 cents. Just saying. All right. So sometimes I'm on point. All right. So here's Centrifuge. Okay. And we were able to originally cash this down at like 78 cents. And that's why I said I've talked about this before. But I really need you guys to pay attention to it now, because it's regular. There we go. The reason why I say pay attention to it now is because where we're currently at in the market. So it's kind of holding. It's at a 71%, 72. It maybe gets down to 7.8 or 8.8. Maybe get it $1. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Like at the end of the day, this box is a 50% 618. So I looked at it as, this is good enough for me. We're at the bottom of stochastic on a daily. I invest on dailies. I don't invest on hours, right? So like, because my moves are so, I'm looking for 100%. So 100% from where I bought in, right? It's right there, $2.86. $2.86. So just above 283. So realistically, I'm not even trying to get the full move. Where the full move of this, and I think I dropped this in my Telegram. This can potentially get to like $50. That was like that could be the potential of this type of coin. Where $50 from like where we're currently at. Like I said, sounds good. 3,000%. But now, at what point are you taking profit? Right? For some of you guys might be waiting for that $50. Like Manny said 50, I'm gonna wait for 50. And it gets to like 47. And you're like, it's not a 50 yet. I'm gonna wait. It's like Dogecoin to $1. It got to 77 cents. You bought it at 0.007 and you didn't take profit. And it's at 25 cents now. And you're like, oh man, I'm waiting for it to get to $1. It got to 77 cents. Like, who cares? Right? These numbers don't matter. At the end of the day, it's all about this. This percentage is what you're looking at. So whatever price it gets to, it doesn't matter. It's not Bitcoin, right? So your biggest thing is, how much money am I making off of this, right? That's really what it comes down to. Are you making any profit? Because if you're not, then it sucks. But clearly here, there's a lot of profit made. If this is what we're expecting, anywhere between 1,000 to 3,000%, can you take a couple of 100% of it, 200, 300, or 1,000? Like, I don't know. Yes, you can, because we're getting in at a place where it's already at a bottom. So like, looking at this right now, while you could wait until you see potentially, like, if you're still in it from down here, more power to you, because I got out when it said 100%. No, but if you're still in it, cool. And you want to re-up, cool. Here's a great place to re-up in this zone, right? What we're looking at. So it's the same thing. We're looking at zones, right? This is an entire zone. This entire zone is where you want to re-up it, right? Between here and here. These are your buy-in zones. And if it eventually, what's going to happen is that it's going to now make a higher low. So what's a higher low? A higher low looks like this, where it does impulse, comes back down, higher low. Impulse, comes back down, higher low, right? You're always looking for these types of moves. Impulse, higher low. Always looking for these higher lows, right? At some point, you don't know when it's going to come, but when it comes, it pays. So like, here's the crazy thing. At any point, this can just be a wick and can turn around and be up here. And that's why if you're like looking at timing the market in investments, you don't want to time the market. You can go down lower and lower time frames. I personally am only using the daily for this type of stuff. Okay, next, CTK. CTK is another one that I said that you should be looking up in. 56% from all-time high. It's on sale. It's like, if you're talking about, like, we're on Black Friday this week. Shout out to all my Americans. Guess what? Some people are going shopping. I was in Walmart earlier. They're selling TVs for 50% off. I saw a 50-inch TV for $400. Why are you going to buy a TV to entertain yourself when you're still complaining about your money? Just saying. If you're thinking about buying any sort of entertainment this Black Friday, all I have to say is your priorities are really messed. And you can be like, oh, I got everything I want. Then you really don't need to be on this call. Because at the end of the day, it's not like, and it's nothing wrong with buying a TV. Like, you be completely honest. But you can't buy a TV and complain about money, right? And so like they give it to us for cheaper. Who cares if it's cheap? It doesn't matter. It's a TV. It's useless. The only time a TV is good is when you're learning something from it, right? If you're buying a TV because you want to be your computer screen, that sounds like a good idea. So you can watch Picasso, Cobain, and everyone and all the other educators that are on, and watch some educational YouTube clips and get smarter. Sure, but if you're buying it to entertain yourself, I'm sorry. Okay, CTK. Take that $400 and buy some CTK. It'll probably be better for you, and you'll probably, and not just probably, you'll be able to buy 2 TVs by the end of this. Okay, like, let's just saying. All right. So this is another one. It's called Citric. I talked about this earlier. Another one that I found really cool. Something that they were working on. It was almost like a loan swap that they were doing, and I found it really interesting and intriguing. I told you guys about this earlier, and we were able to catch it really early, and it's been doing a lot of like consolidation, right? One thing that I like about it more so than anything else, I just like the way it moves. Like for me, it comes down to where is the market, what's it doing. So here's CTK, so you guys can see it. We talked about it back here, and it's just been consolidating, and this is where people are like, oh, man, not doing anything. It's holding its own. So it's accumulating. I like accumulation because all accumulation tells me is that the whales are about to buy in. And if you see what we're in that systematic triangle, but we're holding that upper zone. As long as we're holding that upper zone, like this is just accumulation to me, right? Because at some point, it's going to break this, close higher, and then start running. And when it starts running, don't be like, oh man, I should buy more now that we're at $13. It's like, bro, it's at the $1.70. Just buy it now, right? And I'm saying like this because during this time, there is not a lot of time left in this market. And I'm saying this, I'm not trying to be a doom and gloom person, but in terms of getting the types of gains that we're going to get so easily, there's not a lot of time left. Because when the bear market comes, there's still gains. It's just not going to be as easy. Like, you know, the whole, when I remember, I always say, when you see red, you buy. In the bear market, when you see red, you hold off on buying because it's going to get more red, because it's just going to continue. Like, some of these things are just going to continue going down. Are we in it right now? No, but it's getting close to that. So CTK is at a good entry for buying. Same thing, 100%. Boom, $4.10. No, that's not right. We're lower than that right now. So where it is currently right now, $100, $3.41. Like, boom, done. You're out, right? At the end of the day, all you're looking at is you're just looking to take it up, get out, go somewhere else, right? You got $1,000, that's $2,000 now. You got $2,000, $4,000. You got $10,000, that's $20,000. No income claims, but whatever you have, I'm pretty sure this is going to get there, right? Not even utilizing Fibonacci. We're not even talking about all-time highs. I'm literally just talking about making 100%. Okay. Now, where else could it go? Well, after that, sky's the limit. So what I normally do is I take 100%. So I go like 105 sometimes, or 110. And then I take 90% out of it. So that's realistically 100%. I go somewhere else, and then I leave some of it just to like go wherever it's going to go, just to say I participate in it. So I don't care at that point, because let's say I had $10,000, just made $20,000, and I left, let's say, an additional $1,000 in here. So I have $19,000 to go somewhere else, right? And I have $1,000 going up here, but I got $19,000 that's just about to turn into 40. What do I care if I just left $1,000 and just consolidating here, and I just made 40,000 somewhere else? It doesn't matter, right? Like, this is how you're gonna build wealth quickly, because you're gonna participate in only the pumps. Okay, Jasmine, next one. Jasmine's another one that I talked about earlier, and bro, remember we caught it at 9 cents. Okay, 9 cents. What did you get out of this? What did you get out of this? 300%. That's 3x. Did you take profit? The answer is no. It's on you. Okay, because that's 300%. And I've been talking about it. I think I've been talking about it more often because I want people to really understand this. 100%, take some profit. 200%, take some more profit. You get the 300%. Like, at that point, take a lot of it off the table, leave some, and guess what? If you took a lot of it off the table, look what you're getting back into at. So that's 83% from when you would have been able. So you would have got in, let's say, that 100%. That's 100%. Okay. So even if you waited to the 300%, look at when you're getting back in. So discount 58% off those Jordans. Are you buying them? I know I am. Like I'm not even thinking. I don't even care which ones they are. No, I do care. I don't like any of the ones that he hasn't worn. So any of those new ones I don't like. It's a personal thing. If you like those, then that's good for you. I like all the 1s, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You didn't wear the 11s, but those are the Space Jams. I like those. 12s, 13s, 14s, 15s, 16s. Those are the briefcase ones, and I feel like that was a gimmick. And then he wore 17, 18s, and that was it. The 19s were actually had a pair of 19s. There we go. All right. Enough of the Jordans. All right. So if you're looking at this right here, like that's 58% off, right? If you buy it right now and it hits all-time high, that's another 100%. Okay. So let's get this straight. If you just bought this and held it to like, let's say here, that's 273%. You're like, I'm taking profit. I'm done. Or even if you took profit right here, right? 238%. That's 200%. Let's call it. Okay. You left some on the table, but you took the majority of it out. You got back in right here. So let's just say you had $1,000. That $1,000 is now 2,000, and it's not 3,000. It's just 2,000, like 400, something like that. 2,500. Okay. You now put it in there. The moment it goes up there, that's $5,000. Just by buying the exact same coin, but taking profit. Can you see why taking profit is so powerful, right? Because once these coins start running, sometimes they give you these good old, this is what I wanted for KDA. I wanted this. We didn't get it. Oh, well. But this is what you want. You want these retracements so you can take profit and get back in and catch the next impulse, right? So even if you catch 100%, and then let's say, for instance, it shoots up to 68 cents and you take profit at 100%, and then you catch it here, and this is like 400, you take the rest off the table. And then let's say, for instance, it comes back to this like 40 cents range, right? Because there's a big old gap there. So I'm guessing that it's going to come back there and hold. And it likes whole numbers. And then this 40 cents is really what it's going to run off and then really just take off to, like, let's just say takes off from 40 cents to $10. Okay. At that point, you can't get in and out. Like KDA, you couldn't get in and out fast enough. When I saw that $1.80, I was like, just get in and just wait. Because then it just shot up to $28. While I didn't know it was going to shoot up to $28, I did know it was going to shoot up. Okay. I didn't know how high it was going to shoot up, but I knew that the impulse was there. So at that point, like, here, my expectations for this, for Jasmy, is 1,500%. Now, do you want 1,500% compounded, or you just want 1,500%? And if the answer is 1,500% compounded, then you're going to need to get in, get out a little bit just to collect more. Because now that 1,500%, while this says 2,000, the difference between this 1,500% and 2,000 is that you compounded a lot down there, where instead of having $1,000 and doing 1,500%, so $1,000 at 9 cents, you would have had 3,000 tokens. So you would have made like 30 grand. You would now have like closer to 10,000 tokens before it runs off. And now by the time it gets here, you have 130 grand. It's a big difference when you're doing this properly. Okay. So like Jasmy's another one that I'm seeing that it's at a great area where buying and whatnot. But I'm going to show you guys another coin, and then I'm going to show you guys how to look up, like how to find coins. Okay. I'm going to give you the secret sauce. Sorry. So do I want to talk about this? I'll save this for next week. Okay. Actually, I'll save it for Tuesday's call. Yeah, it's not running yet. All right, so here's how you find coins. Okay. So now you gotta be on Tuesday's call. There you go. Suspense. All right. So what I do is I'll go on 7 days, and then look at this. Minus 24%. Okay. That's $24. That's 24% off sushi from wherever it was 7 days ago. Phantom minus 23%, right? Loop ring minus 23%. We did this with Crow on Thursday. Okay. So on Thursday, we are sitting and we are watching Crow being minus 20 something percent. And I'm like, this is a great coin to buy. They just announced their stadium and blah, blah, blah. And then here we go. 1, 2, 3 days later, anyone that bought on Thursday, including myself, who did buy on Thursday, is now up 45% up from Thursday. This was 80%. And then this is 100%. But I expect Crow to run because not just because of their deal, but I expect more deals to come. So like this was just like you should have had, well, no, you should have had Crow. You could have had Crow all through this. If you believed in crypto.com, you believed in all the things that they're doing, then you could have really just bought it and all down here. That would have been a great area. But at the time, it's not a matter of that I didn't believe in what I was going to do. It's just that I really didn't care. And I knew I needed Crow because because I've talked about my game plan. I'm not going to talk about it in here. I've talked about my game plan and it involves crypto.com and I need 400 Crow tokens. So at some point I'm like, I'll just buy it. But what I anticipate is that Crow tokens will probably be worth a lot more going into the upcoming future. So the last thing I want is to buy 400 Crow tokens that cost me like $4,000, let's just say. And it could have cost me like $300. All right. No, $200. Actually, 400 Crow tokens is like $100 right now. All right. So $100 to buy 400 or $4,000. I chose the latter because I'm like, it's gonna go up. I know it is. I have this sense. Okay. So what you do is you go to CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap. I use CoinGecko. You can use whatever you want. I use CoinGecko. Okay. I go to my 7-day. I like my 7-day because I want to know what's actually not that's doing bad, but I want to know what's down. Right. And I don't change the top 100. I want the top 100 list. So what do? Sushi. Right. So let's take a look at sushi. In this part of the market, this is what you have to be doing to find the coins. Right. There's other things you need to do as well, but this is like one of the things you can do. Okay. Sushi. So now with technical analysis, now that I know that sushi is 24% down in the last 7 days, let's see from the last impulse, how far are we actually down? So this is the last impulse, which is more than 7 days ago, right? Well, sushi is not only 24% down, it's 38% down. That's good to know. So it's 38% off, right? If we go from the impulse of August, 48% off. And if you from September, if you go from the impulse of May, so where was it in May? This is what I really want to know. I want to know where were you from here? Because this is the real deal. 65% off. Let me ask you a question. Are you buying those Nikes 65% off? Yes. So why aren't you buying this crypto? There's no reason. Like, there's absolutely no reason for you not to buy these things at these prices. The only reason why you're not going to buy it is because you think that, how do I know it's going to go back up? How do I know crypto's not done? You're falling into the emotional trap of not understanding how to read a market, right? Technical analysis is the key to understanding these things and unlocks something that it's like unlocks reading, right? It's like being illiterate and having a book in front of you and saying, I don't understand. I don't know the ending of Moby Dick. It's like, well, just read the book. I don't know how to read. Well, looks like you're not going to know the ending, right? Like that's technical analysis. You're going to understand how to run these plays because TA really just gives you the entire thing. So here we are at 786. Is this a good area to buy sushi? Yeah, right. It's an amazing area to buy sushi. This zone is the beginning of the zone, right? This is the overbought zone. Stochastics overbought. Why? Like, I'm giving you guys here a play that can run. Right now we're at what? $8.42. All-time high was $22. You don't even need it to get to the all-time high. Boom, here's 100%. All-time high, no problem. Like, personally, I don't even want the all-time high on this, because what I want is more Bitcoin. What I want is more USDT. I have a plan. I have a plan that I'm making here that I'm going to make, that's going to happen because I'm looking for opportunities in every single place. Wealth happens when you start finding opportunities. Oh, cake's looking really nice. I'm going to talk about cake just now. R Fox, I'll talk about that too. Is it on? If it's not here, I'm not going to talk about it. Cake's on here. Actually, I'll talk about R Fox. Okay. Pancake swap, same thing. 20% off. Like, give you another one. Like, geez. TA, man. TA gives you everything. I didn't understand it back in 2017, and I'm happy and I'm ecstatic about the fact of this ability, but this ability did not come by accident. I thank God for IM that's taught me this. IM Academy, because geez, I'm telling you right now, it's a kid from the streets. Not really. I had a home. I'm just a kid from Scarborough. All right, so boom, cake, and shout out to Evan. He's putting everyone on cake, who's also talking about the staking possibilities of cake. Like, why not stake it? But here's a crazy thing. Buying Pancake Swap right now is clearly in the zone. Could it get lower? Of course it can. But you can there's no point of timing the market that's already set up for you to buy, right? Think about it like this. It's already set up for you to buy. So you're going to wait a bit longer for it to get there. I mean, that's cool, but you don't control the market. So you can't get those sniper entries like the whales, right? This is not trading in terms of margin trading. This is investing. So the best thing for you to do is just take the position versus waiting for the exact moment, because you can take your risk of waiting for the exact moment, but this is what? 65% down from all-time high, right? It getting back, this is 100%. So $29, 100%. All-time high, 200%. You only need 100 of it. Like, you don't need a lot, right? And I don't know how much you guys are investing with. I don't know what you're doing or where you're at, how many times you've done this, but like 10 doubles is $1 million, $1,000. So 10 doubles at $1,000 is $1 million. Okay. So if you double your money, if you double $1,000 10 times, you start with 1,000, you double it 10 times to get 10 of these trades, that's $1 million done in 30 days or less. Because are there going to be 10 different coins that will shoot up by 100% in a day or two? Yeah. But you need to catch that first wave. That's all you need. 1 wave, 2 wave, 3 wave, 4 wave. And all of a sudden you're just like, whoa, this is piling up real quickly. 5 wave, 6 wave, 7 wave. You're like, whoa, I have money now. 8 wave, 9 wave, 10 wave. I'm a millionaire. What did I do right? You stayed on top of this and you didn't holding on for dear life and waiting for whatever moon that you're waiting for. And meanwhile, this was good. You didn't need all that. You just needed this. And like, pause, have coins for long term. Okay. But when we're talking about creating wealth and we're talking about this time and getting the most out of this time, you want to make sure. You want to make sure that you. Sorry, guys. Looking at Bitcoin, seeing what's going on. Like I said, you don't want to miss this. This is not one to be missed. coming back. It's coming after that. It's definitely coming after that. Oh, it interacted with it. Jeez. You got to be kidding me. You see that? Definitely interacted. Okay, I'm gonna wait. All right, so when you're looking at the market and you're looking at what should I be getting into, what should I check out, this is how you do it, right? When you see a red day, you should be getting onto CoinGecko and taking a look. What can I buy? What can I buy? What's on sale? What gave me the biggest sale, right? Because this is all top 100 coins, right? Sushi is 92. Phantom is 41. Litecoin is 15. Near is 40. Chills is 76. VeChain is number 24. Come on. Number 24. VeChain is 20% down at 12 cents. All-time high of VeChain. This frustrates me. It's not enough money to buy everything. So I want to buy everything. 53% down from all-time high. Okay. 7 day. 20% down from 7 day. 53% from all-time high. Like, if you're not buying VeChain right now, I don't know what to tell you. Like, there's another one that you just buy, right? Like, just buy. Man, this is choppy. What you really need to do is put your stop loss here. But then at that point, you might as well just wait for it to come down and wick into this. So I'm gonna wait until it gives me a higher low, until that's done. I'm trying to scam people. Okay, so like realistically, this is what you're looking for, okay? Because this is what's gonna pay you. Okay, all you gotta do is just go into there. And so R Fox, let's see it. Red Fox Labs. 18 cents. It's cool. Circulating supply. Billion. That's cool. Metaverse. I'm all over Metaverse. Not my only issue. I shouldn't say it's not an issue. I don't know issues. My only thing with anything right now is that I'm looking at Metaverse tokens going into 2022, 2023. Anything Metaverse. So like, see like this. Here's what I do with something like this. Write it down. Red Fox Labs. And so the reason why I write this down is because I want to see how this performs in the bullish market. I want to see how it performs in the bearish market. I want to see what they do, what they like work on, everything. I want to see everything. I'd like to see every single thing that they do. So I want to see who they're working with, who they're partnering with, but I want to see them doing that in the bear market. So if they're not doing anything in the bear market, it doesn't make me want to actually buy it. So like looking at let's see if this has a ticker. Red Fox, and then I'm done after this. So yeah, it has a ticker. It's on Bittrex. I like Bittrex. I like KuCoin too, but I like Bittrex. I got money on Bittrex. Told y'all how I found money on Bittrex from 2018. It was Ethereum. It was amazing. That's like winning a lottery. You go to exchange, like, I got money. Forgot about that. It's the benefits of being on this thing for so long. You have money in different places. I forget. All right, boom. So let's see, 50%, 618, hit a 382. So it's going to retrace from here. So hit the first zone. So now what we're looking at from here is a higher low. So what you want is some sort of higher low. So if you're looking at buying this, what you want from this one, I would buy it right here. I would wait for it to get right here. because now I'm waiting for it because it's obviously it's gonna make a higher low. So I'd wait for it to get into this box right here at 10 10 to 12 cents. And the next place I would get it is down here, but I don't think it's gonna get down there. Actually, it might wick into there because there's a gap right here in the market. So most likely, if I was a betting man, I'm not a betting man, but I do use my money to invest into things. I guess people could consider that betting. I don't. I wouldn't get in between these zones, but for sure this would be. I'd stack my buy orders. So, because on KuCoin and Bittrex you can do that. I would get one buy order here. I'd put another buy order here, and I'd enter in by market. Actually, I'd put another buy order here. I'd put an alert here and enter in by market here, right? And then looking at like I actually like this. I like anything metaverse. I don't need to see anything else. When I see metaverse, I'm all game. But 100%, it's not even your all-time high. And then looking at it from not even, like I said, loosely looking at this, I got to now look at this even more. But metaverse is something that you should be looking at going into the next. When we get into like the bull market, bear market, you definitely want to be looking at metaverse tokens and dollar cost averaging into them. That gives you time, right? Because there's 900 days to a bear market, right? So if you didn't know, there's 900 days to a bear market, 500 days to a bull market. That's rough estimates, but that's what it is. So if you get 900 days of just straight being able to dollar cost average into something, right? Imagine weeks. So 900 divided by 52 is roughly about 2.5, 900, 250, 900 divided by 52. It's roughly about 17 months. So it's about a year and a half. So imagine a year and a half of just dollar cost averaging into something at 12 cents. So imagine if you put $50 times 17, so 50 times 55. So that's $2,750 per year times 2. That's $5,000 per year that you would have been able to put in at $50 at a 26 cents. I'm just going to do this and then I'm going to be out. So it's at what, 8 cents, 16 cents right now. Let's just say that you're able to dollar cost average down here at like in the cents at 10 cents, right? So 0.1, it's 550. So that means 5,000. 5,000. So you get 500,000 tokens, something like that. No, 5,000 divided by 0.1. 50,000 tokens, okay? So you got 50,000 of these tokens. And let's say, for instance, automatically, just picture it like this. Goes to $1, that's 50 grand. It goes to $10, that's 500 grand. All that from $5,000 dollar cost averaging over the course of 2 years. It doesn't hurt you to dollar cost average, but know when to dollar cost average. Now is not the time to dollar cost average. Now is a time that you have to be proactive. Now is a time that you have to be in a war. You got to be in a battle. You have to be offensive right now. Okay. Now is not the time to be dollar cost averaging to anything. Now is the time to now collect what's due to you. You got to be looking at this stuff as in, out, in, out. I owe no one nothing except to love them. I just want to make some money off of crypto right now. That's how you should be looking at this, right? This gets up there, I'm out. Oh, but what about this? I don't care about technology. Like I honestly don't care about the technology in this part of the market. Okay. All right. Ooh, that's a no-brainer then. At that point, it's on Cobain's list. That's, you just get it. The research is already done, right? Just get it. Get into it. All right, guys. That's it for tonight. Hopefully, you guys learned something. This trade with Picasso. I would, because I know some of you guys are in it. What was time frame? See, like you could enter this and do this, But at that point, like that's the last down candle. But at that point, would it be better for you just to wait until it shows you something here? So like that's what I would do at this point. But like I said, this could be it could be a fake out, because the next thing is that we still have, this is the 50% 618. So now that this is the 50% 618 and it's closing on top of it, like that even that's like another like indicator. So you know what? I would probably do this, enter, put my stops below the 72. Because at that point, if it's going to drop, then it's dropping down here. And this would happen in the morning time. And unless you're going to stay up and get it. So. Ooh. All right. Yeah, I would do that. And not that I would do that. I am doing that. Because if it holds this position here, this is the 618, right? It cleared. And now this candle there needs to be a bullish engulfing candle. So confirmation of the bullish engulfing candle will kind of give it to you. But it's the same thing that I was saying before, that's not really doing anything, it's just consolidating. So if it just consolidates here, it's waiting for this to kind of get over here. 5 minute, you got to see it turn. Eventually, you have to see this come up and then make a higher low. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Peace.